Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. This is what the we was talking about.
You gonna give me some of that? Oh yeah, no, I've tried the wet one. It's terrible.
What are you doing trying wet ones? It's his butt buddy, which is fine. How could you be scary with your cheeks out, man? That's why. I kept calling him S&M Jason. It's the best shit ever, man. This movie's fantastic. Welcome to the list. This is a show where we pluck out a name out of our all-time watch list, watch it, and review it for your viewing pleasure. The movie we're scratching off the list today is a 1980 classic, Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. In the post-apocalyptic Australian wasteland, a cynical drifter agrees to help a small gasoline-rich community escape a horde of bandits. This is, of course, the sequel to our most disliked video we've ever done.
Jesus Christ.
It could have been because I called the first Mad Max overrated. I get it, but that's on me. That's on me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's simply because we had not seen the original Mad Max. We were unaware of how toned down the first one is compared to the rest of the series, because we simply had not seen it. So we went into that movie expecting something and getting completely different results, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
The comments were telling me to die and how stupid I am.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but for every bad one, we got two good ones. So for that, I want to thank you guys. You guys are actually smart and understand where we were coming from. And you ended up saying that we should watch The Road Warrior, that's the best one. And I must say, this is what the we was talking about. This is the movie, dog.
You sure about that?
Neta?
Of course not. I love it.
Oh, pendejo. I never know where you're going.
No, dude.
I was about to tell you to die in your comment section. What the hell?
I expected the first one to be something like this. After watching this one, I do appreciate the first one even more.
Okay.
It feels like that was like a chapter 0.
I felt the opposite. Thanks to this, I was like, you see, I knew the first one sucked, but calling it sucked, I understand what it meant for Australian cinema and all that. I was being a little harsh. But after watching this, you can totally tell that this is where George Miller was trying to go. And because of the success of the first one and how many people liked it and how much of a cult classic it became instantly, he got the budget that he was looking for. He was able to make his original vision, which this is. So the first Mad Max, it's a great movie. It's still good. It's incredible what he was able to do with how low budget he had. He had like $300,000 to $400,000 budget, I think.
Whoa.
And in the second one, he got $2 million budget, American, 4 million Australian. So he was able to do more stuff closer to his original thought of what he wanted to do. So even George Miller himself was like, the first one, he didn't really like the first one because that wasn't the full potential of what he knew he could put out there.
You do see the budget on this movie. It is, I feel like it's kind of balls to the wall. In the first one, you kind of get the idea that they were kind of in a post-apocalyptic setting.
In the brink of it, more like it. It felt like it was about to be, yeah.
Yeah, and in this one, everything went to shit.
Yeah.
And this is where you do feel that they're surviving. They're grasping at straws to survive.
There's more desperation in this one than in the first one.
Desperation. There's savagery. There's more twisted bullshit.
I mean, in the first one, Mad Max takes a vacation. Like, that's not,
yes! What the was after
that's
that?
not what we're, like, expecting, you know? Like, we were expecting despair and car chases. So, because of the success of the first one, Miller was offered a bunch of different movies that he turned down. He was in the middle of producing a musical that was becoming too hard to make. So then he was like, nah. And then he got the budget to make this. He was also offered to make Rocky, which he turned down as well, which I found interesting.
Good thing he turned it down.
Yeah, because he was able to make his original idea of car chases in a giant wasteland.
Imagine if he would have directed Rocky, we would not have the Rocky we have now.
Yeah.
And we would not have Mad Max 2.
In this scenario, I would like a Rick and Morty gun that will take me to a universe so I can see alternate versions of stuff. And then come back.
Oh my God.
like a Sly Terminator, right? An Arnold Rocky, just goofy stuff like that.
Or the Back to the Future where Michael J. Fox was not in it.
The Will Smith Neo.
Oh, I would love to.
Give me the Nick Cage Superman. That's what I want.
Oh,
The title in Australia, it's Mad Max 2, and the War Warrior part was added in America as a recap for Americans. Because the first movie had such a short and limited release, there are people who, if you show the picture to Mad Max of this movie, they won't call him Mad Max, they will call him the Road Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And in Australia, it's Mad Max. Do you call him Road Warrior or Mad Max?
I've always called him Mad Max.
Me too, so I guess we're... That's also why there's a recap in the beginning of the movie, to try to catch up, because it's super important, because it's the reason why Mad Max is mad. So that's why that recap was put in.
I felt it was a little bit tacked on, and I understand why it was.
And this movie starts how I wish it would start, right? We're in a damn chase, like we're off to the races, and he's not alone. He is without a doubt with the MVP of the movie, the doggy.
Yes.
Loved the damn dog, man. He was my favorite.
I think my favorite part of the movie, no bullshit, is when the dog, the guy is chained and the dog is asleep and Max is eating, and the dog just like lazily just turns over and looks at him like, "You gonna give me some of that?"
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so cute.
No, I thought you were gonna say when he's pointing the shotgun at the guy. That's the best part of the movie by far.
Did love that part because he was just like a sentry, like move, bitch.
Like he's like acting. Wait, the dog is acting. What the hell's going on? After the chase is over, again, it goes back to more of the Mad Max that we had built up in our minds. And it's the same Mad Max that you see in the video game that I mentioned in the last video. Him carrying a canteen, looking for fuel, scavenging. There's this crazy punk football dude harassing him, and they fend him off with his sawed-off shotgun. That's really what we were expecting, and I'm glad that we did eventually get it, and I didn't just make it up better in my head. No, this surpassed the expectations. And you can tell that Gibson is a totally different Mad Max in this movie. Like, whatever happens from the first movie is carried over, and it was actually Gibson's suggestion to be more rugged. He's missing a sleeve. He's all dirty. That was all
That's
Gibson's
Gibson?
idea. Yeah.
OCD was lighting me on fire because he was missing one sleeve. Then his gloves were missing some fingers, but not all. And they were uneven. But as much as it irked me, I loved it even more. And the fact that he's like kind of like dirty blonde in one part with the gray hairs.
There's like a gray stripe. Yeah.
That's a man.
Yeah. And then he only gives half a smirk when he picks up the toy box, the music box.
Oh yeah.
Which comes into play later, but it's like he doesn't even allow himself joy because he's so broken still.
It was heavy.
Like, you knew what the smile meant. Like you knew why it went away so fast.
Exactly.
Because he thought about the kid and the what. Like, it was just a split second. That's why you need to watch the first one, really.
And there was a detail from the first one that I forgot, and I was like thinking, why the fuck does he have a brace in his leg? And I remembered because there was a bike that ran over it.
Yeah.
So it didn't set good. Now he has a brace, and it comes to play in the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, the detailing.
It's a totally different setting now. It's like an actual wasteland, and there's a bunch of wild characters. He meets the first member of his party, which you recognize him. He's from the second Ace Ventura. Like,
that is him?
Yeah, he looked familiar to me the whole time.
I knew it. I knew I seen him from somewhere, but I did not know where.
That was probably it. He's Bruce Spence, who's playing the gyro captain, and he's just like one of many like cool, wacky characters. He almost feels like a video game character. He's the captain of a damn gyrocopter, and like, just by looking at the gyrocopter, you already know what kind of guy he is. And then
kind of wacky.
Yeah, and as the movie goes on, he sticks to that, but he's such a fun character, again, like you would find in a video game. It was giving me like a Borderlands character kind of thing. I really, really enjoyed his performance. He was really, really fun.
And I like that he had an arc.
Yeah, he was important.
Yeah, from this wacky, crazy person to becoming a linchpin.
He was actually written in so that the studio would have to buy a gyrocopter so that Miller could use it for shots. That's the main reason why he was written in, because Miller wanted some cool copter shots.
So it was a functional gyrocopter.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They were flying that thing around.
Oh my god. I thought it was just something to make the movie look cool.
This is where the doggy saves him for the first time. And I love when he's biting on the scarf. He's like playing with him. The actor and the dog just established such a great rapport that they were playing with each other right there.
And it looked very menacing.
And after that, that's when he's in charge with the shotgun in the bad guy's face.
With a small bone.
What I found to be awesome is that the dog wasn't like a professional actor dog. He was actually a rescue dog.
For real?
Yes, and what's even sadder is he was about to be put down.
Oh, shit.
And they went to a shelter in Australia looking for dogs, and they found this dog playing with a rock, and they said, this is it. This is him right here.
So they got the scruffiest, most savage dog.
Hell yeah.
To be the MVP of the movie.
Yeah. And luckily he was adopted by the crew after the film. So that's cool.
Oh my, that warms my heart.
The gyro captain leads Max to a base with a bunch of gasoline because Max needs gasoline. It looks like a compound from the game, and it's just that it's amazing how well they build up the world in the movie. And this is, again, the world we wanted to explore from the first movie.
In this wasteland world, post-apocalyptic setting where they do not have gas, everybody drives a big ass vehicle.
Yeah.
And I also love that part that they said, oh, the last V8, the last Interceptor. I was like, oh, so even the car is a character.
The movie is also about how much Max loses his humanity, right?
Oh, yeah.
And not only Max, basically everybody, to the point where he's eating dog food, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I thought was, is Gibson actually eating dog food?
I thought it was eating beans.
Well, in that scene, Gibson doesn't think it was dog food, but there's no confirmation whether it was or not.
I'm going to stick to my headcanon and say it's good as a can of beans with a doggy sticker on it. Because have you tried dog food?
Hell no. Maybe when I was a kid.
Disgusting way.
I'm sure that the wet one is worse.
Oh, yeah, no, I've tried the wet one. It's terrible.
What are you doing trying wet ones?
I was younger and was curious.
You thought it was birria. All right.
I thought it was beans. Come on.
There are hella bikes, there are hella cars, there are hella chases, there are a bunch of action in this movie. I really, really like the bad guy arrow gun thingy that he has on his arm.
Oh, Simon.
The way they shoot that stuff. Then there's a scene where they're chasing down a buggy and it flips, and then they start stripping a lady and they're killing a guy. And this is not only just to show boobs, but it's also to show how messed up the bad guys are.
Because, I mean, it is implied that they do ravage the girl. But just the coldness where the guy just kills her, I was like, oh my God. It wasn't even that explicit, but the lead up to the thing,
yeah,
or the whole build up is just excruciating to watch. I was like, I was kind of unsettled.
And that's also in Max to like want to help people because he was a cop. So it's, as much as he lost his humanity, it's hard for him to just sit back and let it happen, which is what leads him down there to figure out what's up. And he finds a survivor guy, and the survivor guy leads him to the compound where he gets in, claiming that he struck a deal for gas if he gets him to the compound. While they're discussing what to do with Max, the humongous crew shows up to the compound, starts demanding gas, and the little savage boomerang kid kills a foo.
That was amazing.
I also like how they rock up with people tied up to their cars, and they're like, don't give them nothing. You're like, from the jump, you're like, all right, these dudes aren't ready to play, man. They're not messing around. Yeah,
they mean business. But the fact that this feral-looking Jungle Book kid just straight up whacks a dude, like, he whacks a dude, and a dude loses his fingers.
Yeah, but I thought the other guy threw the boomerang, right?
Oh yeah, the other guy threw it.
He would like threw it back at him or something.
Yeah, that piece of shit Gimp got what it was coming to him.
I think it was his butt buddy. Because why are you so like?
Of course it was his butt buddy.
It had to be his butt buddy because he's
doing that.
Yeah, it's his butt buddy, which is fine. But the big bad guy, humongous, I kept calling him S&M Jason. But Jason actually came after this movie. This is like the original killer guy with a mask.
His head was funny looking.
Originally, this guy was supposed to be Goose from the first movie.
Oh, shit. So Goose would have gone nuts?
Would have gone nuts, but there's theories that it is Goose, but it can't be because he got all crispy and he would have been...
Yeah, it would have been all crunchy.
It was like a business transaction for Max because then they strike a deal to haul the tanker to get them out of there because the humongous crew were going to come and fuck shit up.
But I remember something about Max in his movies just stumbling to places, because in this one, his second nature of rescuing people is like, gotta help this person. Then he stumbled into the gas people. I got this need, and if I help these guys, I'm gonna get what I want. But he gets roped into a lot of situations.
Like, his first intention is to do it for himself. He's trying to get gas so he can get out of there.
Yeah.
But then it's like, there's also a part of him where he's like, I should help. And then especially towards the end, the reason why he sticks behind is more like revenge.
Yeah.
Because he is like fighting with himself as much as he's like, no, like, you guys figure it out, which he does that a couple times, especially trying to get the kid away. But I think trying to get the kid away is more because he knows that trouble follows him and he doesn't want to lose the kid.
Yeah, I did feel like that because the kid kind of grew on him.
Yeah.
And you saw that when he gave the kid the music box.
Yeah, and the kid felt attached to him because he's probably the first gift he's ever gotten.
Yeah, and you see that by the end of the film where the kid just sticks by Max.
So Max sets out to retrieve the truck. He gets to the truck. The gyro captain follows him. And on the way back, Max comes across some bad guys and they start chasing his ass. There's this gnarly scene where the car falls on the guy that's fixing on the bottom. That looked tight.
Oh, yeah. They did very well with the effects, with the mutilations of the people.
Hell yeah, it's gory and it's fantastic. And then he comes across S&M Jason and he pops out his revolver with the sights and he's got a skull. That whole thing is
I
dope.
love that whole thing.
Then he drives by and reveals a couple again, like in the first movie.
I love that part.
That was cool. I mean, I want to say thank you to all the damn stunt people because I'm sure that they got messed up. There's this one jump that looked pretty gnarly with the guys behind shooting the gun. Mm-hmm. And they ramp and he like crashes into like a little pile of dirt or whatever. And the guy moves forward. That looked rough.
Yes, a lot of people must have gotten really hurt in this movie.
The only one I could figure out was when in a different chase where the guy crashes and he flips over.
Oh my God.
That was real. That was a real crash and homie broke both of his femurs.
Oh my God.
Kept filming some other stuff. So shout outs to that guy.
That guy has some brass balls on him.
So they chase him back to the compound and another fight starts. It's a cool battle. It lasts a while. There's some fire guys. Mija Warrior, she was cool too.
Oh yeah, it was a pity, but yeah, I liked her character a lot. She even says, "Yo, I was wrong. You're good."
Yeah, she has an arc as well. They don't just waste her there.
No, exactly. They're not one-dimensional people.
So they fend them off and they start getting the truck ready to leave. And they try to convince Max to stay and help, but Max socks the leader in the face.
That was hilarious.
Quita la verga, morro. I said no. This is where the kid wanted to go with Max. And as Max starts to leave, there's another chase with the football guy. Mm-hmm. There were some weird sped up shots in this chase.
Yeah.
It felt out of place.
I mean, I know what they were trying to get at, like to make it feel like it went faster.
Yeah.
But it did feel weird.
I don't think it was needed.
The energy of the whole scene just helped with the theme of they're going fast. So
in this chase, Max crashes the car and the guys get off to steal his gas. And the most devastating part of the whole movie is not that his car blows up. That's not the worst part. Is that they shoot the dog.
I was trying to deflect from that part, you son of a bitch.
Well, I can't just move over the MVP of the movie dying, fool.
And it was horrible because you just hear the yelp.
Yeah, he did nothing to you, never.
I think that's the most fucked up thing the bad guys do.
Yeah, leave the dog alone. Max once again loses the little that he had in this post-apocalyptic world. But the gyro captain comes to save him and take him back to the compound. And that shot looked dope where Max is all messed up and you can see him flying and all that.
That is a very good shot.
I like when he wakes up and he's all messed up. He uses the kid as a cane for a split second. I like that. He grabs him by the head. So this is where, because of revenge, Max is like, all right, I'll drive the damn tanker. And then the whole chase with the tanker starts. They blow up the compound, a huge explosion, a gigantic one.
A glorious one.
In real life, this was such a big explosion. They had to let the military know that it was going to happen because of how high the explosion was in case planes and stuff were going over.
That is amazing. And I thought they were going to let the military know because of the 4 people that were inside the explosion.
No. They're supposed to die. But part of the crew, the paraplegic guy gets set on fire and the mija gets shot. So by killing characters, which I feel like we don't do as much anymore in movies, it sets the stakes.
And it adds weight.
Like the doggy died, man. He do nothing there. Like this lady and all this other people, like we're not messing around. We're not invincible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
An hour and 25 minutes in, I realized, how could you be scary with your cheeks out, man? That's wild. Your cheeks are just getting sun, bro. And we're out here fighting. That's wild. That's just crazy.
It just goes to show that you need maximum mobility to be a bad guy.
It goes to show what good writing and editing and filming does, man. That you can have bad guys with their cheeks out and you're like, oh, wait, you know?
I almost howled with laughter.
What is it?
Look at the steering wheel.
You need to spell it out for me. What's the problem?
It's between Max and the steering wheel, there's a head popping out that should not be there.
Oh, I thought it was the kid.
No way, it was not the kid. The kid was hanging from the back, remember?
Yeah. In my head, it just filled it out as if it was the kid.
This is just like a dude peeking out.
That's a production guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the 2 guys that have been strapped onto the car get squished. That was gnarly.
Oh my God. There was a split second where I really thought, oh, they dead now. Like, for real.
Yeah, like it wasn't a dummy or anything. That's how good everything looked. Then after that, I like that the leader guy, I don't forget his name, where he rolls up in like his little doom buggy.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, that guy that's driving a Monopoly piece. That guy.
Oh my God, you're right.
It was funny how he rolls up right next to Max, and Max is like, his shoulders being torn out. He's got to worry about this kid.
There's
He's got the guy in front of him
stuck in the roof.
There's 2 guys fighting on the roof, and this guy just rolls up to Max and looks at him and is like, what are you doing? Like, what are you taking so long? He gives him like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, what do you mean what the hell's going on? I have everybody on top of me, man. So Monopoly guy gets killed.
Yeah. Good on
You didn't like him?
You bag. No, that guy. Just because he did like, what you doing, guy? Yeah. You were supposed to be the backup. And you ain't doing squat.
Then the gyrocopter guy, who was also in there, gets shot down, and I thought he was gonna die.
I did thought he died, and I was like, oh my God, no, the heart, the gold.
Then this is where the little savage kid goes for the shell to help out Max, and the other guy pops up in front of the car after he jumped over, and S&M Jason is coming at Max, and they have a full-on collision and just goes right through him. That was gnarly.
When the whole tankard flips,
yeah,
you see body parts going down also.
Yeah, I thought the kid was gonna die and everything, but no, it just reveals that Max was actually not carrying fuel and he was carrying sand, and he was a diversion the whole time, and the good guys took the
juice,
and Max and the little savage kid are okay. Then the heli guy rolls up, and so they began the journey to the north. In the beginning, there was a guy narrating, and then at the end, it's revealed that the person who's actually narrating was the little savage.
Yeah, I think that just cemented this movie in my brain, because what did the kid say? The helicopter guy, the gyro captain, became the leader.
Yeah.
Then when I was a man, I became the leader, and oh my God, I love this. And the road warrior was alive only in my memories because we never saw him again.
Right, so this was just one of the probably many stories that could have been told in the Mad Max universe of what Mad Max was doing along the way.
Because he was just trying to survive, that's it.
This was actually supposed to be the end of the series, but because of the success of it is why we got the 3rd one. And as the narrator, to us, the audience, turns into the little savage, Max was left behind, and it goes black, and it's the best shit ever, man. This movie's fantastic.
I think it's next to Terminator, inside that little circle of action movies alongside Terminator 2.
Yeah. This is up there for me too now. Like, I'm glad I watched it. I don't know what it's doing for future me in the sense of what we're going to feel and think about Mad Max 3 Beyond the Thunderdome, but we will be doing that for the list, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for what's going to happen next. We're definitely going to do that pretty soon, but make sure you head on down in the comments and let us know all your nostalgic thoughts of Mad Max 2, all the nice things that you can possibly think of the movie. And if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing and dropping a like. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to always and forever, you do.
Bye.